Yeah, and this I know this, especially since you mentioned RussiaGate. This is, as I see, the extension and the conclusion of RussiaGate.
Right.
Especially with the extreme xenophobia that we're seeing
Yep.
now. And I said it, like, you guys look at my old RussiaGate videos. I was telling you guys, RussiaGate is literally just xenophobia. That is exactly what it is. Now you're seeing there are Russian businesses right now. They're being vandalized. Right, there are people that are talking about the harassment they are getting because of what's going on in Russia that has nothing to do with them. Meanwhile, they're 100% okay with American products, right? Even though Joe Biden funded multiple genocides, you don't hear anything about that. You
No,
don't hear
you
nobody.
don't. I mean, when I saw the story about the cat show, the International Feline Society saying what cats from Russia couldn't be in their competition, I thought it was The Onion. I really did. I was like, oh my God, this is true.
You want to know what else is The Onion, Margaret? I saw a headline where there was a bunch of people, bunch of Israelis that was protesting, standing with Ukrainians while they were protesting on colonized Palestinian land. Like, they literally protesting on colonized Palestine. They're like, free Ukraine. It's like, are you guys serious? Like, this is the cartoon that we are living in right now.
Yeah.
George Bush came out like, you got to respect the sovereignty of the countries. I'm like,
but I have a question. I want to interject the question. I don't mean to throw the thing off track, but is this connected to the inevitability of the United States losing its grip on, being the number one country, being the top at everything? Like, is this? I mean, because what I'm hearing, what I'm reading, is that the United States, literally by the end of this decade, China will be bigger. Their economy, and China's economy is probably bigger now, is what they're saying, but they can't really, I guess, effectively confirm that. But they're saying by the end of this, right. But by the end of this decade, before the end of this decade, that like by 2028, like China's gonna be a lot bigger, their economy. So is this kind of like the bully throwing a tantrum?
Well, it is that, but it's also what's the expression? Payback is a B word. So the U.S. has been pushing other countries around, as sanctioning countries that like Iran and Venezuela, to keep them from being able to sell their oil. Now they're running to Iran and Venezuela because we have to sanction Russia. We can't get any oil from Russia. Well, where are you going to get it from? So now they have to backtrack. The attempted coup against Venezuela, claiming the president isn't the president. Now they have people going down to Caracas, Venezuela, to try to cut a deal and get some oil. This overreach of the U.S. concerning itself with the affairs of every country. I was in Nicaragua a couple of months ago, that this little country with 6 million people, there are more people in New York City than there are in Nicaragua, but the United States is going to sanction them because they had the nerve to elect a left-wing government. And this is the end result of that effort to have, the term is full spectrum dominance, for the U.S. to dominate the world militarily, economically, and this all started because there was an effort to separate Russia from Europe. And Russia and China are already very close. They're like this. What did Xi Jinping say? We're better than allies. I mean, I don't know what that is. Better than an ally? What the heck does that mean? I'm digressing a little bit, but they ginned this up to try to get, and they succeeded in getting Germany to back away from they built this Nord Stream 2 pipeline, gas pipeline from Russia to Germany, which makes sense for Germany, but they wimped out. And so now they're going to buy fracked gas from the US, which doesn't make sense, which will cost more. But this is all to try to, but they're going to get what they were trying to prevent. I don't know if that's what you were leading to. So
yes, I was.
China and Russia are closer than ever. And these old, evil old Henry Kissinger, when Nixon went to China about 50 years ago, they were trying to keep China and the Soviet Union from becoming friends. Keep Russia and China away from each other. But the U.S., all these aggressions, attacks on the rest of the world, in order to protect themselves, they're closer and closer than ever. And so any attack on Russia, it's also an attempt to attack China too. But you see, so these sanctions, they kicked out Visa. Visa and MasterCard said they're not going to do business in Russia anymore. What did the Russians do? They made a deal with the Chinese company, and they're going to have their own card to replace Visa and MasterCard. So this effort to try to keep it all together is actually leading to a faster breakup. France and Germany, the other European countries are so wimpy, but there's going to be a break in NATO because this is causing problems for everybody. Everybody's going to pay more money for gas. I don't care where you are in the world. You're going to pay more money for a loaf of bread. There's a lot of wheat coming from Ukraine and from Russia. So if you sanction Russia and if Ukraine can't sell its wheat, then what happens to the price? So ordinary people are going to start paying the price for this.